senses. Then you have taste, smell, touch. A chariot driver, the chariot driver, there are two things. You can see there is a driver and there is also rein. The rope that controls the animal, the senses or horses, right? The ropes or reins represent our mind, and the chariot driver is the intelligence. The senses are to be controlled by mind through intelligence. When a chariot is driven by uncontrolled horses, then the passenger can only wait for his imminent death. And who is that passenger? The soul proper. So soul is always helpless. Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasa ahankara vimulatma kartamaham iti manyate. All the activities in this body are being dovetailed by the senses, by the three modes of material nature. Mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. So basically, if you look at this body, the senses, they drive, but senses has to be controlled, and they can be controlled by a controlled mind and controlled intelligence. And how intelligence and mind will be controlled? By association with Vedic literature, by association, by remaining under a shelter of a spiritual teacher, spiritual acharya. And so the mind and the intelligence can be controlled by spiritual intelligence, which is contained in the wonderful verses of Bhagavad Gita. And that is why we are discussing Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is the direct instructions of Krishna for the welfare of all living entities. So this idea must give you some notion that how I am encased in a body that is made of both gross and subtle body. Okay, we will discuss this even more in detail, more as we proceed or progress. So now question is, what happens when body is changed, right? So I will give that a subtitle as a subtle body carries the soul from one body to another body. So when I change my body, I don't change my subtle body. Like I have these senses, this gross body. Beyond gross body, I have this mind, intelligence, and false ego, the subtle body. Subtle body, I have not changed. It doesn't change. In the subtle body, the impressions of all my previous lives are there. And when the time of death comes, then all my unwanted desires, unfulfilled desires, sorry, not unwanted, unfulfilled desires, they are locked inside my subtle body. And I am carried, that is soul is carried through the subtle body to a new gross body. So when I change my body, I don't change my subtle body. I change my only gross body. That is why you see some people from the very beginning, they show tendency to become an artist, to become a sportsman, to become, a businessman and likes, because they had certain unfulfilled desires in their previous life. They failed as a businessman. They could not succeed as a good sportsman or so, like that. And suddenly when you come to this new body, that impressions of the subtle body drives your action in the gross body. So let us read from this lesson. The body in which the soul resides may be divided into two categories. One is the gross body, consisting of earth, water, fire, air, ether. So what is this earth, water, air, fire, ether? This is not that air that I mean in a colloquial way. Air is an element that carries the information called touch. Ether is an element that carries the information sound. Water is the element that carries the information taste. Similarly, earth is an element that carries the element information called smell. So in that sense, this body is, because what is this gross body? Because these five things by which I operate, isn't it? Sound, touch, form, taste, and smell. These five things. Gross body is about five things. Please think about it. There is nothing more than this. So hence this gross body is made up of these five elements. Okay, five space. We call that as space. I will talk about space a little more later, but let's continue. Another is a subtle body consisting of mind, intelligence, and false ego. As we transmigrate from one body to another body, only the gross body perishes. The subtle body carries us from one body to another. We do not change our mind, our intellect, our false ego. These three things we always carry. We must have seen that when a child grows, he manifests certain behavior. We see some children are very peaceful, yet others are very naughty. It is not that somebody has taught them how to become naughty. As the body grows, many traits that manifest in the gross body are derived from the subtle body. Okay, just to give an allegory, Gopal and Ram are twins. They studied together, brought up in a similar manner. Gopal went to become the professor in a reputed university, while Ram excelled in fine arts. You will find such examples are plenty. Such examples are well understood when both subtle and gross body taken together. Right? So Ram was carrying a different subtle body. Gopal was carrying a different subtle body. His subtle body allowed him to become a professor, whereas Gopal's subtle body was so conditioned previously that it allowed him to become a fine art person. So, besides the environment, the gross body is influenced by subtle body. So the mind, intellect, and false ego are always with the soul. Once soul becomes detached from mind, intellect, and false ego, then it is liberated. So there are two things. So when body perishes, I don't become liberated because still I'm encased by the subtle body. And real liberation is when I am de-embodied from my subtle body. That is when I become freed from mind, intelligence, and false ego. So the process of liberation is to become dissociated from both gross and subtle bodies while getting fully attached to Lord Krishna. This is the basic instruction in Bhagavad Gita. When death comes, all our subtle desires dissolve in our mind, and that mind carries us to the new body. Just like air carries aroma of a flower from one place to another, subtle body carries the soul from one body to another. This is the reason why different people have different desires. Even if two brothers are born in the same family, they will develop different tastes because they are carrying their own karma, own impressions within them. You must know we are all prisoners of our own karma. What kind of activities I'm doing, what kind of association I'm having, based on that, my subtle body is changed and my gross body performs according to my subtle body. To influence or to change my subtle body, I must associate with saintly people. Durlava manava janama satsange taroho ye bhava sindhure. I have got this rare human birth, and hence I must associate with those who are saintly people. By that, I can transcend my subtle body and reach the soul proper. So the physical mind and the mind of the soul are different. Soul has its own spiritual body comprising of mind, ears, eyes, heart, and other organs. Material mind, intellect, false ego are the part of subtle body, while earth, water, fire, air, and ether constitute the gross body. We need to transcend our experiences beyond these gross and subtle bodies to be able to experience ourselves, the soul proper. That is why Lord Krishna concludes the description of the soul in Bhagavad Gita in second chapter, 29th verse. Asyaryavat pasyati kaschidenam आश्चर्यवत् वदति तथैव चान्यः आश्चर्यवत् चैनम् अन्यः शृणोति श्रुत्वापि येनं वेद न चैव कश्चित्. Some look on the soul as amazing, some describe him as amazing, some hear him as amazing, while others, even after hearing about him, cannot understand him at all. I'll end this topic with a nice story. My friend invited me to Duisburg University while I was residing in Germany for a preaching program on Bhagavad Gita. So there are some students, his friends. One of them was an American who was studying in ETH, Zurich. So I started talking to him about soul. And we started discussion almost around 8 o'clock in the morning. It had almost continued up to 5 o'clock. And this person could not understand ABC of soul. He could not understand transmigration. He could not understand what is reincarnation. And that can happen because of too much of sinful activities in my previous life will not enable me to understand the subtler concept of the soul. So I told my friend that please, you people do chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. These are the holy name of Krishna. If you chant, my consciousness will be purified. And I told him that you people chant, I will now do some cooking. So I cooked, offered food to Krishna and fed these people nice prasadam. They enjoyed prasadam. Everybody can enjoy prasadam. Whether you understand soul or not, you can enjoy prasadam. Prasadam is pure mercy of Krishna. That is one of the ways to understand soul. If you are not able to understand soul, please eat a lot of prasadam. You may ask me, how will I get prasadam? Please go to any ISKCON temple, you'll get a lot of prasadam. Okay? So if you belong to any city, ask whether there is an ISKCON center. Literally, in every city, there is an ISKCON center. Please go and join there, have a lot of prasadam, and sooner you'll be qualified to understand what is soul. It's an amazing topic, but it is a difficult topic. And in my next video on this topic, I will tell you some story. And through that story, I'll again elaborate the points that we have discussed already further. My question to you here is, I have only one question that I will ask, that what you understand about yourself now as a soul, right? Describe in your own way. You heard, we made almost like 3-4 videos on this topic, and please hear them attentively again and again. And in your own words, describe yourself. And contrast that, what you are thinking about yourself, right? So before hearing this, you had some idea about yourself. And after hearing this, you will have some idea about yourself. How that has changed. There is no change, no worry, because we will continue anyway. But just try, because we want to see that how we are progressing in terms of our conscious evolution. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, everyone. So anyone would like to answer what do you mean by soul, and what did you understand about atomic soul? Hare Krishna.
Yeah, yeah, Mataji. So just understand, like a soul is eternal, Mataji. That thing I can say, yeah. And so nothing cannot happen to the soul, but body can perishes. So we leave the body here, but the soul will be there. So we have to reach to Krishna, we need to be detached from like subtle body like false ego, mind, and intelligence.
Yes.
Yeah, Mataji. So gross
Mhm.
body perishes here, but subtle body will carry with us with go to next body, so it will come with us.
Yeah. Yes. Any other answers? Sanjita Mataji, this is what you think about soul, right? Very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Vaishali Mataji, are you there? Niyati Mataji?
It's actually me listening.
Yeah, good, good. What did you understand from the soul?
Um, I joined a little late because of my tuition, but something I understood is that to reach to Krishna, you have to eat prasadam, make prasadam for Krishna. You have and the soul has to be detached from the body to reach to Krishna. And even after many tries, one may not understand what a soul is.
Yeah, but still feed him prasadam.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a special mercy of Krishna.
Yeah, at least after eating prasadam, we can say, "Oh Krishna, thank you for this."
Yeah,
Prasadam."
that's very
It's
right.
like that we
Yeah,
can.
it's like hypnotism. That's very true, Mataji. It's divine always. Prasadam is this once Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Swami came to me, who is Russian, to our house. So he was saying that have you like if you eat the food in the restaurant, it's just disgusting. He was saying like that, and that time, yeah, like it was before like 7 years or 8 years ago. So that time we were not that much into this, like we will only eat prasadam. And so I was wondering how kind of it would be like disgusting means we also we were used to eat in restaurants that time. So but now I understand that yeah, it is disgusting really.
After eating Krishna prasadam, that is nothing, Mataji.
Yeah, yes. So yeah, that's the thing. So yes, so what I understood is soul is eternal, ever existing, and when the body perishes, soul doesn't perish, and it's like um, the soul changing body is just like the we are changing our soil and worn up clothes. So if one tries to save the body, it's not going to get any benefit because like body perishes and you cannot save the body. But if you like how Hirva said that if you feed the soul prasadam, then you can save the soul, you can make it Krishna conscious. So our soul is covered by the mind, intelligence, and false ego. These are the subtle bodies. So we have to first try to divert our intelligence towards Krishna consciousness. So most of the times our body is governed by our senses, and which is incorrect. So that's why we are falling into the pit. So, but when the senses and the mind are guided by the intelligence, so the soul is happy. Here, Prabhu gave the example of the chariot, and in which the soul is sitting, and the driver is the intelligence. So, if the soul asks the intelligence that you go here and go there, then these horses, which are the senses, they will be they will be rided very nicely. So yes, so yes, and while going to the Vaikuntha, we have to leave this like subtle body. Yeah, when only we can get rid of this mind, intelligence, and false ego, we can go to the Vaikuntha or the Goloka Vrindavan, because only soul with the super soul goes there. And one important thing Prabhu said that was The soul is carried by the false ego to the another body, not by Paramatma. I was thinking that soul must be carried by the super soul to the other body, and because Paramatma is always guiding us. But like it's very surprising that yes, our soul false ego carries us to the next body, as we are maybe learning in the 15th chapter also. Shrutram chakshuhu sparshanam cha rasanam granameva cha adhisthaya manascha vishayanopasevate. The next body we get the eyes, the ears, the nose, the tongue in such a way that our subtle body is acting in this life. So we are, in short, we are making our next body ready. So as soon as we quit this body, within like very short period of time, we can get the next body ready. So that's why Krishna doesn't have to do anything. He's just in the Goloka. He's just playing rasa, and he's playing with his girlfriends and boyfriends. They are very nicely, very happy. He doesn't have to do anything because Paramatma does all the activities in our body. Like he takes charge of. Yeah. So this is what I understood. Yes, Hero.
I had two questions. The
Yeah.
first question was, I think I forgot. Yeah, the second question was that when we do karma, you know how sometimes when we, for example, if I was lying, right, then I have this inside feeling that I shouldn't lie.
Yeah.
Isn't that my soul stopping me from lying?
Your Paramatma is stopping you from lying, actually, not your soul. Yeah, soul also. But most of the time, Upadrashtanamanta cha Bharta Bhokta Maheshwaram Paramatmeti Chapi Ukto Dehesmin Purusha. In the 13th chapter, Krishna says that Upadrashtanamanta cha is the overseer and the permitter. So he's always guiding us. So whenever we are doing something wrong, the soul guide, maybe you can tell soul also, but soul is always guided by Paramatma because soul is very pure. Whatever vices we have in us, soul is untouched by that. If we are ill, if we are in pain, some people say, oh, my soul is paining to see you suffering, but our soul never pains. Okay, soul is always Sachidananda. It has nothing to do with our material miseries or anything. It has nothing to do. It's just separate. It's just like Paramatma. So Paramatma is accompanying the soul, and so maybe the soul is asking you, or indirectly we can say Paramatma is asking you, because in Bhagavad Gita Krishna says, I guide, and then it tells you that you shouldn't do that, but then we are reluctant, so we don't listen. Then Krishna also permits that. He says Anumantacha. So Upadrashta Anumantacha. So he permits also. So simultaneously both the actions Krishna does. Like just like our parents, they will ask us not do that. But if we are reluctant, then they'll say, okay, fine, you do it. So we can hear sometimes, because you are self-realized, you are chanting, so you can hear more frequently. That's why we have the atonement also. Most of the devotees, we feel very bad when we do something wrong.
Yeah.
Most of the normal people, they never realize. They are very shrewd. Okay, why should I say sorry to this guy? What I have done wrong? So only the pure devotees can be that courageous to understand what they are doing, because they can hear the soul or super soul.
Then why does the soul get, like, I've heard that the soul gets punished. So like the soul has to take a rebirth, but then the soul's nice. The mind, the false ego is forcing you to do something bad. Then why is the soul getting punished?
No, but soul is not getting punished. I say to you that soul is pure. Soul is not having any problem. Soul is Sachidananda. But just it is covered by these three things. So in this, I show you this. There is a literature of lesson 4. You can do also this course. This is very nice. After we finish this, Himanshu Prabhu already has gotten the the website address and everything and the information he has got. I asked Rohin also to do, but he's a bit lazy. But you can do this if you are really interested. This is very like it's eye opener for everyone. It's a real science actually what they are teaching here. So can you see this?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So you can see here, the soul is there in the center. So it is covered by especially the false ego and the intelligence, and the outermost layer is mind. Okay. And so this is the gross body. Outside of it is gross body, earth, water, air, fire, and ether. So as Prabhu said, that from the earth we can smell, water we can taste, air is the touch, the fire is for the sight,
Form.
and the ether is for hearing. Okay.
Yeah, hearing.
So especially what we are doing through this gross body is how we are feeling. Our feeling comes from this body, the gross body. Okay. So feeling is on the gross body level.
Oh,
So soul is totally untouched. Soul is so inside.
okay.
So all the feelings are because of these things, because of our sense objects. These are the senses.
Yeah.
And what game is played is by sense objects. The some sense objects are smell, sight, sound, touch, and taste. So which is coming from these five elements.
So can the soul ever like get released from all of this, or no?
Yes, we can. So see, gross body is anyhow it is getting released when we are traveling to the new body. Okay. So the gross body is perishable. It will go. But always these three things, they are accompanying the soul in the material world. Because we are covered by the three modes of material nature. That also Prabhu said, right? That because we are always in this material world, we are ought to have these three modes of either we are in goodness, passion, or ignorance. These three
Or
modes
ignorance,
are
yeah.
always working on us. So because of that, we have some false ego, our intelligence and mind we want to use, because sometimes we are in goodness, we work very nicely. Sometimes we are in passion, our mind or intelligence is going too much towards that passionate nature, and in ignorance we just don't follow. Only our false ego follows us. Like if I am in this woman body, I will follow what a woman says, right? If I'm in a male body, I will follow that. If a bird is in that body, bird's body, bird will think, okay, I am a bird and I should do what other birds do. So this is false ego. This false ego.
Mm.
Even birds have, animals have. If I'm in a dog's body, I start barking. So because I'm a dog. So so this false ego is, that's why it is so much attached to the soul. It's so difficult to get rid of it. That's why by remaining 24 hours in Krishna consciousness, somehow or other we are occupying all these three things into Krishna's service. And that's what you people are trying to do as a family. So so the Krishna consciousness is moreover achieved if we are doing like unitedly. Association is very important. You can't do alone. Otherwise, what happened to Bharat Maharaj, it will happen to us. So that's what. So soul is never affected. Okay. Soul is always Sachidanand. It's just like super soul. So just it, and soul, that's why the soul always want to go to Krishna, but our subtle body doesn't allow it. That's why we are in pain. That's why we say, oh, my soul is paining. Soul is not paining, but because of these things and our feelings, we think like that.
Oh, okay.
And soul is always jumping. That's why we go to temple. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was used to to jump. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, whenever there will be Aarti or some processions in the Rath Yatra, it is written in Chaitanya Charitamrita. They will jump up to 2 floors high. Because
Why?
yeah, it's amazing for us. But because they are Balram and Krishna himself, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda, and
Oh,
that scene would be so magnanimous to see, actually, so amazing. And these are the things reported in Chaitanya Charitamrita. If I get that purport, I'll send you in the group, and everyone can read. It's amazing, that pastime. So yes, that is called ecstasy. If you remain in, that's why in ISKCON we jump, we dance.
yeah.
So, because
That's
you need to agitate yourself, and your soul is always jumping for Krishna. That's why most of the people are sad nowadays. Only Krishna Bhakta Nishkam Ataiva Shanta. That's why we are always happy. And we are so grateful to Prabhupada.
So can the soul ever reach to Krishna, or like will it
Yes,
always
it can reach, but it's very difficult. You have to become very, that's why we are reading Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has shown several ways in 5th chapter and some chapters, like even fifth chapter, a lot of instructions are there. Karma sannyasa yoga. You do your karma and you remain renounced also from that karma. How to do that? So that's why everyone should read Bhagavad Gita. Krishna has
I
given
love
us instruction and we are not following. That's our problem. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why they'll say life is a preparation and death is an examination. So
Yeah.
we prepare, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It might take janmas for us, but who cares, Mataji? See, in the Vaikuntha Loka, like I heard Prabhupada or somebody saying, what are you going to do in the Vaikuntha? The same thing. Here also we are doing the same thing, right? So for devotees, it's all same. Whether we are in the Vaikuntha Loka or we are here, we are doing same. Waking up in the morning, worshipping Krishna, Krishna is smiling. And yeah, all those sorts of things we are doing here also. So basically that's why a devotee never asks for liberation. He asks for the unflinching devotional service,
Yeah.
birth after birth, or eternally. That's why whenever we are blessing, that time also we can tell them that may you have unflinching devotional service eternally. Eternally you serve Krishna. Eternally we are serving Krishna already. So yes.
I had another question. If
Yes, we can take
me,
it later, maybe, because we have just 9 minutes. We have to play one more video. Sorry, here we are after videos.
okay,
So and we have another chapter, 9th chapter, which we have to finish in next 2 classes. So we have just 3 classes left. Before we have 3 or 4 classes left before we have 11th. On the 11th, we'll have this quiz competition. So then around 19th or 20th, or like that, we are keeping the final ceremony. So sorry for that. I'll just play this video and then we can discuss. Okay. So if somebody wants to leave, they can watch videos. Okay. Thank you, Hirva. Nice questions. That's why I ask everyone to participate. For the children also, if they are mature enough to understand these matters, they are very interesting videos. Nice videos. You write it somewhere. We'll discuss. Okay, Hirva?
okay.
Bhaktivedanta is his opulence, his blessings upon this useless soul. So I thank you for engaging me in this service of disseminating the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. And I hope that you also, after learning the science of Bhagavad Gita, you will endeavor enough to give this knowledge to others. So let us continue from where we stopped on the description of the soul. We talked about soul is eternal part and parcel of Krishna. It is co-eternal with Krishna. And we gave many transcendental attributes of Krishna as Krishna has presented in chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita. And we realize that most of them are inconceivable for those who are hearing about the soul for the first time. Now I want to make a very important point. Soul has the form, not the matter. So that is the topic today. Soul has the form, not the matter. So normally, it is a misconception among everyone. The soul and God, they don't have form. We have argued in previous lessons that God has form, so also the soul has form. So the question is, if we ask, does the soul have form? Bhagavad Gita answers that. But this is in 2.22. Vasam sijirnani yatha vihaya navani grannati naroparani tatha sarirani vihaya jannani anyani samyati navani dehi. This is a wonderful verse from chapter 2 where the translation is, as a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones. So just like this shirt I am wearing, when it becomes old and torn out, I throw it and I put on a new garment. Similarly, when this body perishes, I put on a new garment. So what is the significance of this verse? You see that my shirt has two hands because I have two hands. My trouser has two legs because I have two legs. Similarly, every living being has legs, hands, nose, eyes, ears because the soul has these attributes. That is why Lord Krishna is saying that body is the dress of the soul. So soul has an original spiritual form and assumes different garments based on this polluted consciousness. And I would like to discuss this point with you at length because you see, if soul doesn't have a form, why will it accept a form? Okay, even the physical body should be formless. So soul accepts a dress because it has a form. What is the difference? Difference is that in this physical body, it has varieties of anga, right? Like have hand, leg, you can ampute any part and still you can survive. But soul and its limbs are inseparable. Achintya Veda Veda. That means soul has legs, soul has hands, soul has eyes, soul has ears, and that is why all the 8.4 million species that have been designed by Brahmaji also have these limbs, okay, these senses. You won't find any creature that doesn't have visual sensor or auditory sensor and likes. They may be fully blossomed or they may be little dormant, which we say little hidden. But dresses are there. Dresses, all the dresses have these features. And this shows that soul has a form. But what is the basis by which I should accept soul as form? Because the Vedas declare unequivocally, like in 13th chapter, when we talked about Krishna, it says, Sarvoto Pani Padam, Sarvoto Siro Mukham, Sarvoto Akhi Siro Mukham, Sarvoto Srutimal Loke, Sarvama Abhrita Tishtati. So there it says, Krishna has eyes, ears, head, everywhere, hands. If Krishna has those things, as part and parcel, we also must have those things, but in minute level. So, just to impress upon you that why form cannot come from the formless, because the idea is that soul is formless and what is around here is having form. That's a logic we cannot accept. This is something that we need to discuss in detail. You see the photograph. You will see this is the very primitive idea of the automobile that we are now very happy to ride every time, right? So this photograph of the original Benz patent motor wagon is shown. This was it was first built in 1885 and awarded the patent for the concept. The concept has the form, hence the gross form of that concept in the form of a car has also formed. Not only is the car, any gross object from a house to robot is conceptualized first in the intellect. Its form is given there. Any activity, be it technical research or cooking in the kitchen, we can experience that ideas come first, and these ideas must have some form. If the ideas do not have any form, its product will not have any form. So you see that this first patent you see, it doesn't look like, it's like a wheelchair. It looks like a wheelchair, right? But those who started working on it, conceptualized, and it went through evolution. So you are seeing the very idea of the automobile is manifesting in a subtle body in the form of intellectual concept, in the form how it will give me comfort, how it will make my life easy. Emotionally, I am getting ideas in the form of mental level. And finally, those ideas are getting percolated from highly subtle state to less subtle, gross, and finally gross manifest, and that is your car. So anything that you see, for example, when you build a house, you go to an architect, you tell him that this is the kind of house I want to have. Then what he does? So he gets your idea. Then according to his own experience, he tries to give or generates a wonderful idea of your would-be home. And then that idea that is generated within his intellect, within his mind, comes in the form of some kind of architectural drawing, and he shows you. And then what do you say? No. I don't like this. I don't like that. This looks very nice. This is a good idea. So like that you make a comment. Again, he takes your input, again redesigns, and finally your 3D model is ready. It is given to a builder. Now builder uses brick, cement, and other things to build it. So the gross form comes from subtle form. Subtle form comes from even subtler form. So this is something that we have to understand at GetLinks. Anything that you conceptualize, that has a form. If the concept level, the object doesn't have a form, it cannot have form at the gross level. Please try to understand. So this very idea of formlessness is absolutely an ignorant idea. No Vedic literature advocates about formlessness. So Krishna has form, I have form. Because Krishna has absolute form, I have very tiny form. That's all. Krishna can manifest, not just like in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna showed his Virata form, right? Universal form. Because he can show, because he's actually present in every aspect of his creation. He's there within atom, he's there within the cell, he's there within air, he's there within water, he's there within ether, he's there within sound, he's there in smell, he's there in fruit, he's there in vegetable, he's there within grain, he's everywhere. So he can manifest his Virata form. But I cannot do that. I am conditioned by this body that is given to me. So I can only manifest this body. And and I'm limited by my senses. I'm limited by my gross body and subtle body. So this is something that we have to understand. I hope that you recognized that form cannot come from formlessness. So matter, in fact, doesn't have form. Let me tell you. This is something that would require some internalization. I will not discuss that aspect now, but just to tell you, matter really doesn't have form. Because Brahman has form, that's why matter assumes the form. When it becomes abhyakta, unmanifest, matter has no form. Matter assumes form because unlimited living entities are impregnated into the material nature. And these living entities have their form. And hence these pseudo forms were created, temporary forms were created through the agency of external energy of Krishna. And that was possible again. Maya dhikyana prakriti svete sacharacharam hetunanena kauntaya jagat viparivartate. Okay, so this is very, very important for all of us to understand that matter doesn't have form. Form is there because spirit soul has form. Krishna has a form. Krishna has a form. That's why the universe is a form. I would like you people to internalize this. I have some questions. Tell me some examples by which you can introspect and get an idea that form is the primary thing. Formlessness cannot be the basis of form. So just like I gave you the idea of how the Mercedes-Benz patent led in the process of evolution to the modern automobiles. Similarly, you give me some examples where you can demonstrate how things that we experience in this world, originally they came in the concept level, and more subtle level, they also had a form, and that form percolated slowly to the gross form. So this is something very important, and I would like that you give me some examples. And I have one more question to ask, and I hope that you will try to answer. The question is that we are soul, okay, we are eternal. Why we fear death?
Hey, we have already done this or what? Oh,
Why?
This is version
We fear
4.4.
our annihilation.
We are running the same video.
I would like this question to be answered by you.
We had to run
Don't
6.
worry, even if you are wrong, doesn't matter. Through discussion, we'll clear our misconception. This is a journey we all have taken together so that we achieve our ultimate goal. The goal is to understand Krishna and to become his wonderful servant, just like Yashodamayi, Nanda Baba, Arjuna, and many other such wonderful devotees who perfected their life by serving Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I'm really very sorry that we played the 4.2 or 4 video again. Actually, we had to play 6. But I think 6 contains just the story part of King Chitraketu. So I'll share it in the group. Sorry for that. When I heard this is my attentiveness. I had to share this one, 6, and I shared the different one we had already done last time. So this I'll share in the group 4.6. You all can watch, and it is just a story of King Chitraketu and how he just brings his son's soul back into his body, and like some sage comes, and then his son says that when he dies, that his son dies, and the sage comes and he brings the soul back, and then the soul says that I don't know you, you are my father, I don't know, and then it just flies away again. So in short, in King Chitraketu story, this story proves us that the soul has nothing to do with our bodily relationships with our, like in the material world we have relation with our parents, our brothers, sisters, but when we die, soul is just as per the subtle body, it goes into another body and it acts like that as per the body is given. But actually soul doesn't have any willing or feeling or something, or relations. It doesn't get bound by the relation and feeling and willing. So I'm very sorry. We would have listened to a very nice story actually, but we heard the same lecture again of last time. When I was listening to the question, then I understood that this is the same. Yeah, I shared that video. That's the story. 4.6 is. Sorry for that. Any question from this video? This video we already discussed last week, so you all can give some ideas from where we can get, like what questions he asked. No, two questions. One question was how you get to a particular like creation before, like without thinking, or like you can give me the steps by which you go and you create some object, and or you are in your mind something is there, and subtler than that there was something already existing, and then you created something. So this is the form, like what you are having is the product of something in a very subtle, in your very subtle part of mind. It was there already, and which manifested in a form. So to prove that our that anything in this existing in this material world which is gross, it is actually formless, but because our mind has some form, we have already seen that image. We want to recreate that. That's why that thing is a form. So one question is that, and the second is why do we fear, that we discussed already last week. Sanjita Mataji, Suhani Mataji and I were there. So yes, for the first question, if any one of you want to discuss something that you, what did you understand by, like, you can answer. Yes, Sanjita Mataji, you want to say something?
Yeah, Mataji, I'm thinking.
Yeah, anything we create is the product of our
Yeah,
original
Mataji.
imagination.
Cooking, I think relate to cooking, Mataji.
Yeah.
So in my mind, it will be something. Then yeah, we'll cook.
Yeah.
So it's good or bad, but of course we will cook.
Yeah. Yes, that's very right. Yeah. Sometimes we just very we call it, you can call it like in subconscious, very subconsciously we buy the vegetables also in such a way
Yeah.
that it manifests into a special dish, and which we then we realize after we cook, we realize that maybe it already was there in my mind, that's why I bought all these things.
Yeah.
Without declaring, even we had this thought, maybe. Yeah, that happens to me also. Yes, Irva?
I didn't get the question.
Okay. Okay. So just like Mataji said, when let us take the example of cake, right? So when I want to make something, I bring the ingredients, of course, but I have certain picture in my mind, right? To this such kind of cake will be,
Me.
and then I will decorate it like this. This will be the colors. This will be the complete outlook. This will be the height. So that form is already there, right? Now the ingredients which contains like some flour, milk, right, yogurt, oil, these are basically formless, isn't it? So the anything gross is he's saying that anything gross is actually doesn't have any form, but because in our mind we think that I'll make turn this into this, like they showed in this video, they showed a building, right?
Yeah,
They
building
were
an
building,
architect. Yeah.
they were building through the big bricks, and before that they conceptualized that yes, we want certain kinds of rooms, and they should have like, so somewhere you are changing also some things, and then as per your plan
Discipline.
given to the architect, they build the whole house.
Yeah.
So otherwise it is just the how they build the brick, the building from the brick is nothing but a sand and some water, right, and some mud, right, so iron basically, right. So these are all formless things, but we turn it into a form. So what we like, that's why we say that the our we are bound by these four defects. One of it is illusion. We are so much under illusion. When we see the form of a gross thing, we think that the gross things have a form, like earth, water, air, fire, and ether. Actually, they don't have any form. Actually, the soul has the form. The soul, because of soul as the form, it takes the body of a human being or an ant or an elephant, like that, right? So these gross elements, 5 elements, they are converting into some figure, like elephant or ant or human being. So because of the soul has a form. So that's what he was saying, that the gross things are actually formless. What we see with form, like this temple, right, this altar, so it has a form. I can see it clearly. So somebody might say, how can you say this doesn't have form? But actually originally it was just wood, right? Wood and some nails also were made from iron. So what it got manifested into is the is our is our idea. As per our idea is the manifestation of our idea. Otherwise it is unmanifested. He used these two terminology, right, that manifested and unmanifested. So unmanifested means having
Yeah.
no
No.
figure, right, and this is some sort of design. So that's why we are always in illusion. Soul is with soul has the form, and the gross doesn't have form, but we see differently. Gross we see form, soul formless. How can a soul has form? So in the same way, when we are building something, we have particular idea in our mind, right? So that gets manifested.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other question? You are asking some question.
I was gonna ask the question that does the soul have form?
That was your
That was answered. Yeah, it was
your
answered.
previous question.
It,
Yeah. Maybe I didn't answer your question. That's why we went to the wrong video. Sorry for that. That was my
it's
mistake.
okay. It's okay. Sorry for asking so
I
many
was
questions.
rushing after videos because now we have to finish the course. So that's the thing. Yes, Mataji, you want to say something?
No, Mataji.
Yeah. See, this happens.
Yeah.
Illusion, always illusion. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna,
Hare
Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Did you like the videos?
Yes.
I forgot your name.
Vrinda, Mataji. Vrinda.
Vrinda. Yes, very nice name. Yeah, that time I said also we have one older Vrinda and one younger Vrinda. I can see Radha.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.